performance in mind, there's no wonder why we have such an iconic brand that's bringing AMG performance to back it with the styling cues and just giving us more power, more essence to the sophomore year of the all-new 2022 Mercedes-AMG GLB 35 here at Mercedes-Benz of Clearwater in your polar white. The interior keeps all the styling elements. You can have room for a third row if need be. I wouldn't option it myself. However, if you keep it as we have it spec, plenty of legroom, headroom, the latest tech. Who is the rivals? BMW X2 M35, you have your Cadillac XT4, your Jaguar, the list can go on, but nothing is going to pack the attributes and the performance that is underneath this that is insane compared to the standard GLB. I'm Anthony from Hawkeye Rods, and I'm going to go over all the specs and details starting now. New Mercedes-AMG GLB 35 has the appearance that's going to make it look more aggressive, iconic vertical bar grille with the AMG badging. This is also going to be taller, wider, longer than your standard GLB. We're going to start off with that AMG night package that's going to be on the lower front splitter, your grille trim, the outer air intake, AMG side panel inserts, the belt train, and the window lining trim are all going to be sculpted in the high gloss. The exterior mirror caps going to the rear with your tailpipes, they're also going to be blacked out. A width at 72.2 inches, a height of 65.4 inches. And even on the lower trim here, you still nearly have 5 inches of ground clearance. This is a super aggressive setup. From all four corners, even on the hood, the way it just has an elegant touch. It keeps that Mercedes-Benz styling. LED high-performance headlamps are set with this. You can option an adaptive LED headlamp setup. The AMG team left nothing unturned for performance. 21-inch AMG matte black multi-spoke wheels. The silver brake pads that's going to house 4 pistons in the front at a 13.8 inch. It's ventilated, it's drilled. The rear at 13 inch, ventilated and drilled. A single floating caliper is going to make more performance with that AMG sports tuned suspension. AMG Performance 4MATIC, which gives us a 50-50 weight distribution from the front to the rear axle. Front strut suspension. The rear is a multi-link, both with their coil springs. A length at 183.1 inches, a wheelbase at 111.4 inches. LED tail lamps. Working down the lower, dual exhaust outlets, black tip. You'll get the grille inserts, the diffuser. Again, super aggressive styling cues. Power tailgate, that's going to be part of that Premium Plus package. Going inside to your cargo at 22 cubic feet. You have storage underneath the floor, a 12-volt. The rear bench split folds at a 40-20-40 split. It's going to max the cargo to 60 cubic feet, which makes this the best when we're comparing it to BMW, when you're comparing it to the Cadillac. Any of the rivals, this is going to beat it. Plus, it has the power. Let's hear how that turbo sounds. The new Mercedes-AMG GLB 35 definitely is a nice segment, especially if you're looking at getting a base GLB. I mean, for around $10,000 or more, I know it sounds like a lot, but you're getting a lot more performance, which they enhance it with a 2.0 liter turbocharged, producing 302 horsepower and 295 pound-feet of torque. That's paired to an AMG Speed Shift DCT 8-speed automatic transmission, achieving 20 to 27 mpgs. That's good for a 0 to 60 around 5.1 seconds, 0 to 100, 12.1 seconds, quarter mile, 13.5 seconds. All those numbers equate to almost or over a second faster than the standard, plus your horsepower has increased almost 100, which is crazy, the performance that AMG has put underneath this. Let me know in the comments what you think about the new 2022 Mercedes-AMG GLB 35 as we go into the interior, go over the tech, and take this for our test run. Entering inside the Mercedes-AMG GLB 35, you're going to receive 40.7 inches of headroom, 41.4 inches of legroom, which is going to be more than the BMW, more than the XT4. And again, this is a longer vehicle. We have a classic red over black. They're leather bucket front seats. We have power adjustment for the driver, the passenger with memory, heated, ventilated. We got the contrast stitching. It does have a nice sporty attribute. The color combo on this is amazing. On the dash, you're going to get a single pane of glass with two 10.25 screens of information without a navigation. That is something I dislike because you have to pay for that. That is not a standard option, even when you option the AMG. However, it is touchscreen. You do have Bluetooth connectivity, Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, Sirius XM, Bluetooth connectivities. You have your Mercedes Me app, your performance page from that AMG line, and you have your dynamic setup here, which is really nice because you can actually change all the dynamics in your driving, so you can make it more comfort. You could do sport, you can change it to slippery, individual, and it shows you everything there that you're configuring. You can also click into here and you can change it for your own individual liking, so you can make it as advanced or as basic as you want for every single thing. Even on the suspension, if you want it to be a little bit more comfortable instead of firm, you can do so. Here you can see your G-force, and it is live as you're seeing. You can also click here on the engine and it'll also show you that live projection. Your consumption for your fuel, click into that home button. Your comfort, this is going to be for your seats, which you can also change for your ambient lighting, which is throughout the dash and on the door panels. Switch it to reverse. We do have a 360-degree reverse camera, full trajectory. You can change those images as well. So it just makes it very easy for your reversing. Working down the lower, you'll have your air vents that are circular with the gloss black. You got that ambient lighting on the dash with the silver. Going down to your dual climate control, you have a large storage pocket here with a USB-C and a 12-volt. Cup holders, you can easily fit a 16.9-ounce water bottle. You can also adjust that to probably fit about a 32-ounce. Voice recognition, the touchpad, and touch screen. So you have all the connectivities you need, and you got a little palm rest right here. Open up inside. It is a deep, it's just not so wide storage with another USB-C port. So you're taken care of with charging ports in the front. The steering wheel gets the flat bottom AMG steering wheel with the perforated, the leather trim on the top. You got the cross stitch in that red, multi-function with the touch pads with your paddle shifter. The gauge cluster, you can change the whole layout however you like. It is very intuitive, just like the center display. You have your AMG performance, so you can also change that in the center. You can change out the display design. So you can do classic, you can change it to a sport, you can change that to super sport, you can go understated, or you can just do your standard display here. You can change everything also in the center. And for your door panel, it sits up a little bit higher, so you're going to feel a little bit more sporty and athletic with a luxury twist. Ambient lighting comes in, ventilated, heated with your memory and your power adjustments. One touch up and down for all the windows. Storage is the best part. You can literally fit like 2 liters inside this thing. That's how deep it is. So comparing it to the BMW, this is going to have more head space, more leg space, more storage space. The connectivity's there. Let's see how we look in the back. For the back seats, I'm at 39.3 inches of headroom, 38.1 inches of legroom. I can fit relatively fine without too many issues. Air vents in the center. You have a home plug, 2 USB-C ports, storage behind both of the front seats, and the floor is not completely flat. The nice thing though are these are reclinable, so I have it in the most recline. Otherwise you will sit literally at a 90-degree angle. So I recommend just leave it about this. Cup holders, 16.9 ounce fits good. Not a big fan of these ones particular because they're not hard to use. It's just with a lot of plastic materials. Elbows are going to be nice and firm, more or less, but this is AMG spec. Door panel, you're going to get that contrast stitching, the red and black, one touch up and down for the windows, and I do like the silver that they put on the grab handle. In the storage, I would say you can easily fit about 3 or 4 16.9 ounce water bottles. We have our own little moon roof as well, so that way you have a sunroof in the front, a sunroof in the rear. Let's see how I look in the center. Sitting into the center, headroom is absolutely no issue. Legroom, I'm almost grazing the back of the front seats in the position that I'd be sitting, sharing foot, leg, butt, shoulder space. If I recline this seat, can't actually recline it all the way back as you're seeing, because what happens is you will sit like this because it's a 20, so 40, 20, 40. However, it is doable. Is it comfortable? Not if you recline it. I would say just keep it the same level as the seats next to you and you can enjoy a ride. If you want to ride more luxury wise, sit up at a 90-degree angle. You want to feel more sporty, recline it so you can feel that enhanced AMG turbocharged engine. Taking the new 2022 Mercedes-AMG GLB 35 out with 302 horsepower, enhanced AMG 2.0 liter inline 4-cylinder. Now, it's going to obviously have a stiffer suspension, which might be something that people dislike. We also have upgraded wheels, but give it some go and it's actually funny because there's a Maserati Levante behind me, and this thing can actually beat it, and the price point of that vehicle is going to be about $30,000 more. So something to take in consideration. The MSRP starts around the $49,000, $50,000 price point. So it's about $10,000 to $11,000 more than your standard GLB 250, but you are receiving quite a bit, especially if you add that AMG night package to it, because it's going to enhance all of the elements that show and stress the performance that this vehicle has underneath the hood, which is something that I do like. It's more box structured, very composed in the sense of noise. Firmness, you're going to feel some bumps, a little bit more so at a slower speed. At a higher speed, it's going to soak them up relatively well. 295 pound-feet of torque with the AMG Speed Shift DCT transmission. So we're going to see how it goes onto the interstate to give it a little gas. And those 4 pistons in the front are well needed when you have to give it the breakage. But if you need to give it some throttle, this thing goes. The exhaust note will filter in, which is good because at a higher speed, you do start to hear a significant amount of wheel noise, which is not necessarily a bad thing. You're kind of expecting it. And when you're in this price point, I mean, you got to take some goods with bads, and it's going to bring me to the 3 things I like and 3 things that I dislike. Is anything more than that, I'd be buying this vehicle. Starting off with the goods, you have the enhancement from AMG, you have the performance brakes, the performance tuned suspension. Look at the brakes. And you already saw the power behind it. The second thing that I like about it is it's still a practical vehicle. A family can drive this and have fun with it because it has the fun factor. And before we get to the last thing that I like, we're going to do my famous stop in the middle of the road here. We're going to give this Mustang a ride. You can see how quick this vehicle is. The last thing that I like is you have a lot of space for head, for leg. You got cargo capacity, you got storage everywhere. They did an excellent job making a family fun vehicle, and it's still a compact SUV at the end of the day. 3 things that I dislike has to start off with this single pane of glass. I like the digital readouts. I just wish they were larger. Normally I'd be complaining they're too large, but they just seem a little too small for how much space you have, because they've literally maximized the space in the interior. But I mean, look, it is lovely. That note that you get, it doesn't sound like a 4-cylinder. You do know that it's a turbocharged. The second thing that I dislike, this is an AMG. We don't get standard navigation. I get it. I have Apple CarPlay. I have Android Auto. But come on, give me navigation. And the last thing to sum it up is if you're driving this on a daily basis, it does have a firm suspension. So you will kind of get a little tired. For me, I'm used to it. I have a sports car, so I love the firm suspension because I like to feel it, and especially in the steering, it's not so artificial. You can actually feel a little weight to it, and that's what I like about the enhancements that AMG does to these vehicles. But on the flip side, some people are going to complain saying it's too firm, but if it's that case, don't get the 21-inch AMG wheels. Get smaller wheels and just be done with it. For an everyday drive, something that's going to compete with BMW, it's awesome. I mean, I like it. Look at this. Maneuverability, excellent. Visibility, you sit up pretty high. It's not projected that crazy with the numbers, but it's enough. As for looking in the sides, we don't really have blind spot. We do have blind spot monitoring. We do have the 360-degree camera. We do have sensor functionality and safety features that you're going to pay extra for. But at the end of the day, if you're going to pay about $10,000 more to get this line, you might as well spend a few extra grand to get the amenities to make it safe and to express that performance from that night package. As for the rival perspective, BMW X2 M35i, this is going to have a substantial amount more room and cargo and storage, and the connectivity is relatively close to the same size as theirs as well. We do have the 360-degree camera, so we are matching them hand in fist. The performance is going to be pretty close. This one's going to be a little bit slower. When you're in the 35, you're just like, how much more can AMG enhance these turbocharged engines? As for the Cadillac XT4, very luxurious. They have a turbocharge as well. It's not going to be as fast as this, but the storage yet again is going to be the max in this. It almost sets itself in its own category. But this is an AMG that's enhanced with the luxury to back it and performance underneath the hood. I'd like to thank Mercedes-Benz of Clearwater for giving us this 2022 Mercedes-AMG GLB 35 for our car review. If you're already a subscriber, thank you for being part of the Hawkeye community. If not, click the next video, that subscribe button. Check out the details merchandise website and everything we do here at Hawkeye Rides. Is it bumpy? Well, look. Oh my God. It's not that bumpy.